Fat Dag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, Fat Dag.
I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. You can join the show live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Just follow Wise Advice on Twitter for the details. Visit fatdag.com or email onair@fatdag.com to send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 218 of Wise Advice. And I want to give a quick shout out to all of you. I sent an email this afternoon to many of you. I posted on Connect. It, of course, went to Facebook. It went to Twitter as well. But I really want to focus in on our why on this episode. That's kind of going to be the focus, at least as we open the show. And, I found that there are many ways in this journey that you can either experience something by living it or reading about it. And so I've developed 5 writing prompts to walk you through your expectations, your strength, your weaknesses, your beliefs, and your responsibility. I've asked thousands of wingmen to take the time to expand on these questions in a private setting and write until they could not write anymore. And I encourage you to do the same thing, but do it with a pen and in a piece of paper, since it invokes a creative side of the brain that often gives us a chance to slowly figure it out. So I want to take these 5 questions. I want to open the show by going through them and kind of giving you the roadmap to kind of get it through. So this may be an episode that you refer to often, and you grab a pen at some point when you're listening along, hit pause, and come back to it. But it's real simple. It's really 5 questions. Like I said, if you're on my email list, there's about 7,000 of you, almost close to 8,000 of you today that got an email from me. And really all I did was put these 5 questions out there and said, hey, walk through this with me. This is an important part of your journey. This is how you're going to stay focused. And so I just really want to walk through them and give you kind of a roadmap to help you out and say, what's the first question is what is it that you are expecting to get out of this journey? I want you to write it down. Why are you expecting that? What does that mean? What changes when you get to your end of your journey? What changes when you get to goal? What does it feel like? What does it look like? If you write those answers down to what are you expecting out of this journey, you have a good plan as to what you want to feel like, look like, be like, act like when you get there. That's number 1. Question number 2 I ask is, do you believe that you can get there? Now, I want you to take your first answer. And so if you instantly said yes, that's great. But if you didn't instantly say yes, then you actually said no. Whether you understand that or not is true. If I asked you, did you rob a bank yesterday? You know instantly, no, you did not. And so that's why the first answer is the truth. But I want you to look at the things that you've done in your life. If you answered no, or if you did not answer yes, is a better example. If I ask you, do you believe you can do this? And you paused, you hesitated, you had to think about it, then I say the answer is not at 100% yes. It may be an 80% yes. And so I want you to now say, okay, it's okay if I don't believe in myself at this point. But what I can do now is I can work backwards from there. I may not believe I can get to goal, and that's okay. But what I want you to do is find something in your journey that you do believe that you can do. Do you believe you can track for a single day? Yes. Okay. We're going somewhere. So somewhere between I can track for a single day and I'm going to make goal is where your level of belief is. So I want you to write down things that you've done that you are able to do, that you know you can do, that you believe in yourself that you can do. I can get a blue dot today. I can get a blue dot every day this week. I can get 30 blue dots this month. I can track every breakfast this month. I can track every dinner this week. I can do all that stuff. And so find the things that you do believe, write them down, and then slowly stretch yourself to say, okay, well, if I believe I can track for a day, then let me try 2 days in a row. Let me track 3 days in a row. Whatever it is, you build on that success because it's the notion of I can do something, and then you just keep adding to it until you get to where you want to go. That's question number 2. Question number 3 is, I want to know, what do you think is stopping you from getting there? What's in your way? And so when you think about the things that are in your way, there's plenty of them. There's work, there's distractions, there's family life, there is fast food places everywhere you go. There's a society of food that we have to challenge ourselves on. There's self-doubt. We have that inside as well. We have to balance it. So what do you believe is stopping you? What is your way? What's in your way? What does that mean? What do you mean when that's in your way? When you're self-sabotaging yourself, what do you mean by that? When you're saying that you don't believe in yourself and you're giving yourself doubt and that is what's stopping you, that's what's in your way, what do you mean by that? How are you stopping yourself? How are you limiting yourself? How is whatever is stopping you, how is it doing it? Write that down. Number 4, I said, what would be the hardest thing that you've ever done in your life? Now, I know some things in life, this part always becomes painful for many of us because we have to go very deep into the brain and find things that are excruciatingly painful. And then we have to bring them back to the front. I understand that. But there's a reason I ask you this specifically is what would you say the hardest thing in your life that you've ever done? And when you think about that and you think of the strength that it took for you to do that, not the physical strength, but the emotional strength, the emotional energy that you had to put out to get that done, to get through that period of your life. And clearly you did, or else you wouldn't be listening today. So you found some sort of strength to persevere. It's that same strength that you can turn into focus to take care of this current situation for you. You actually have all the ability and tools that you need to do this. You probably are more powerful, more strong than you even know. But that period of time in your life where that was the hardest thing you made it through, you didn't give yourself credit for being strong and getting through it. So that's why I ask you, what's the hardest thing you've ever done in your life? And then do you think that would going through a weight loss journey be harder or easier than something that the hardest thing you've ever gone through in your life? Now, if the weight loss journey is the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, then you go back to all the way question number 2 and say, do you believe you can get there, and build on that strength and say, yeah, I believe I can do parts of it. I believe I can get there. And then of course, allow us to believe in you as you're working through it. The last question really is kind of rhetorical, but it's who ultimately is responsible for your success? Where does the responsibility lie? You can't place the blame anywhere, and you can't place the responsibility anywhere but yourself. Now, certainly I don't want you to blame yourself because this is a hard process, but what I want you to do is I want you to give yourself the responsibility to do this. We have to agree that it's you. You are the one that has to take control. No one can do this for you. I can't do it for you. I can inspire you. I can motivate you. I can talk you through it. But as soon as the podcast ends, you're left to be on your own. You can get done your run. You can hang up the podcast. You could walk out the door, and next thing you know, boom, something is right in your way, and you have to now find the strength to get that through. You now have to go, wait, I'm responsible for making this work. So I want you to find the things that you can do yourself and remind yourself often, how am I going to hold myself accountable? How am I going to hold myself to this program? How am I going to make a plan to do this? I have to be deliberate in all actions in order to get this done. And so this is insight that you now have to take back and go, okay, if I am responsible for this, I have to make a plan. If you walked into work and your boss handed you a project and said, hey, I'm putting you in charge of this, what would you do? You'd make a plan. You'd sit down and you'd develop, okay, well, here's what we're going to measure. Here's how we're going to do this. And you would develop an amazing plan. I want you to take that same level of responsibility, apply it to you. Those are the 5 questions. That's how I want you to work through it. Again, you can see the post. I put it on Facebook. I put it on Twitter. And of course, you got the email as well. But if you did not, go to fatdag.com, sign up for the email newsletter there. It really, it's just something we kind of keep through. Now, I did that, and Lee responded right away. And so I want to share what Lee wrote out. And I asked Lee, what do you expect to get out of your journey? And Lee said, well, the realization I was able to do anything that I set my mind to and achieve without thinking twice. I want to get loads of friends, meeting mates, and people they now look at me for guidance, a better way to live my life so I may stay the healthiest person that I've become. That's a lot of expectation, Lee, and great job there. So I asked Lee, do you believe you can do it? He said, never, not once did I question if I would get to goal. When I started, my day one weight was 309 pounds on October 21st, 2009. There was no goal weight suggested, and there was no app. I took it on myself to devote all of my energy on my lifestyle change and sticking with it no matter what. Okay, I asked Lee, number 3, what is in your way? Lee said, nothing is in my way. I started my journey at 309 pounds, as I said before, and in 466 weeks and weigh-ins, I removed 125.4 pounds from my body. I'm single and unemployed, as well as semi-disabled from a traumatic brain injury. The first 2 are not 100% my desire, but they did allow me to be laser-focused on my journey. The last, a TBI, impeded my activity for a long while, but I overcame the psychological, physiological, and mental blocks that kept me from walking. Somehow being struck by 9 cars in some fashion made me leery, Leery, of cars, even their sounds. And now as a lifetime member at Goal, I devote my energy to helping my meeting mates and people on Connect realize they will hit goal. I asked Lee number 4, what is the hardest thing that you've ever done? Lee said, when I was 10, almost 11, I sustained a traumatic brain injury when a car drove into me head on while I was biking home from school. That was beyond horrendous, but truly, medicine and the human body's regeneration did most of the work. There's more to it, of course, but that's the gist of it. My journey has been a rather steady one, basically declines in weight with some bumps. Sort of common, I suppose. I live alone and I have to decide what to bring in and what to keep out of my home. That's pretty simple now. At first, when I was transitioning from the old Lee to Lee 2.0, I honestly don't recall too many instances of this, but I might have been tempted by insert tempting food. So as I'd say in my medical scenario in its entirety, you never fully recover in every way has been the hardest thing that I ever did. And I asked Lee, number 5, who was responsible for your success? And Lee responded, I am the one responsible for my success in the end. Many others, my leaders, my accountability buddies, the meeting mates with whom I share my tracker every day, my friends who help transport me to and from meetings on some days, Fat Dag, the Wise Wingman Group, and some more I inadvertently admitted have been instrumental in my journey as well. Lee. Folks, that's how you do it. It's that simple. This guy here has tracked, 466 weeks in a row. I don't even know all his numbers. I can't keep track of the numbers, but the dude does not waver from his focus. That's why he has the success that he has. That's why 125 pounds are gone. That's why every single day he shows up wanting to get it done. He understands this journey more than anyone else understands it. He understands how it applies to his life. That's the important piece. You can't go into his life and live his life and get the same level of success. You have to find the things in your life that are making you get this done properly. For 3,239 days, he is tracked on paper. That is just pure focus. That's someone who's dialed in, who's looking at his why, who knows that no matter what he's been through in life, you can hit him head on with a car and he can get past that. He lived through that, and that is the strength that he's at. If he can persevere through that, then tracking for 3,229 days is really simple. I'm sure he'd trade everything he had to not have to go back and relive that piece of his life. This part he can do. So that is the 5 questions. That's how you walk through them. What you've got to do is really take a moment. Grab a pen, like I said, grab paper, do it in private. Write it down. Replay this episode as often as you need to. Hit pause, listen back, shoot in an email to onair@fatdag.com if you get stuck. I'll work it into the show. We'll talk about it live and we'll get it done. But you absolutely can do this, and you're absolutely responsible for your success, and our community here is 100% with you and wants to see you succeed. Next email comes from Karis. She says, "Hey, Mike. Phew, you are a man on the go. I'm in awe of what's shaking and baking for you and your work. And I'm sorry to hear that your putting in those papers and retiring. And man, that's so amazing and inspiring. I hope to be you one day. Well, to be honest, I've been struggling. I hit the 25-pound mark, and I've been off focus. Luckily, I'm still passing the tape, but it's not my goal. I over-focused during the week, and I stopped tracking on the weekends. Work has been incredibly challenging. Appearance is so important, and I'm struggling to lose the weight for myself. I am so sick of being pressured to look a certain way. I really hate the culture of my workplace. I can't stand to walk in every day and know that people are judging me by how tight or loose the fit. It's just ludicrous. It's also disappointing to know that the weight matters for every good favor. Well, there's my rant. My heart is kind of broken. I'm permanently stationed here and at the whims of the command du jour. I have great support from my home and my Weight Watcher group. I'm starting to lose again. I'm down 3 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I've just hit the point where I have to do it for me. I'm past surviving. I want to thrive. I love your post about the energy. I long to get beyond this into a realm of feeling great and freed up to focus on the other things. Thanks for reaching out. I'm hanging in there, but I want to finish this race. Blessings, Karis. Karis, you know what I'm going to say, and I think you're equally inspiring. You reached out to me quite a while ago, and we shared some good email back and forth, and you inspire me beyond belief. The things that you're able to do are just absolutely incredible, and I believe you. I believe everything you've said in this email. I get it. It's crazy how our culture truly is more interested in what we look like than what we ever contribute to this world. And so there's a sad reality to that it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how amazing you are. Is someone is going to look at you and judge you purely on your appearance. It's incredibly sad. The hashtag weight bias, certainly comes into play. You'll see that all over Twitter. But here we are, and we go through this journey. You and I can relate a lot to what's going on, and having a job where your weight is checked and measured and monitored, and that determines your level of success. And the people who are in charge of you, as they change, their policies change, their mindset changes. So we're constantly trying to figure out what we need to look like to satisfy society, to satisfy work, and that truly is an additional level of stress that we certainly don't need. Now, when it comes to me retiring and putting in my papers, I've announced that on August 1st, 2019, I will officially retire from the military. It's about 2.5, maybe 3 years shy of what my goal was as far as retirement goes, but I 100% did this on my terms. What I realized was this community and the work that we're doing is far too important. I got to the point where on my terms, I said, I need to take charge of my entire life. And I said, I want to help this community more. Operation Fat Dag is something that I'm very passionate about. I want to reach out to members of the military, make sure that they no longer struggle with their weight, they no longer struggle alone with their weight, and we certainly can help them. And what I realized was I can't do that while still being in the military. I have to free up some time on my calendar to really go after this mission. And so that is 100% my decision. Let me tell you how good it feels. It feels so good for me to say, I am retiring on my terms. I'm at the height and weight that the Air Force approves of. My physical fitness tests are perfect. And I said, it's okay. I'm going to go. I have bigger plans because you know why? I am responsible for my success. I've taken my 5 questions of why and I've kind of applied them to the rest of my life, not just my weight loss journey. And it said, okay, Mike, it is time to do this. Now let's talk about you again. Let's go back to where you were struggling. You hit your 25-pound mark. Congrats on that. Still passing the tape. I get that. Good work there. I know that's not your end result goal. So what I want you to do is I want you to kind of bring a little bit of balance into your life. And the over-focus during the week is incredible, but then it causes you to stop tracking on the weekends. I want you to kind of find the balance where you mix in a good combination of both. I understand work is challenging. I understand the stress that's there. I get all of that. All of this goes away when you figure out the true balance and you live your life for you. Reframe your focus. And I want you to celebrate the things that are going well in your life. I get sometimes it's very healthy to vent. It's awesome to get them out there. But when we live in that mindset, we continue to look for all the things that are going wrong. And I want you to do just the opposite. I want you to focus on everything that you've done amazing in your life. I want you to focus on the next couple things you're going to do amazing. And I want you to celebrate those. Continue with the great support from your house, from your Weight Watcher group. Continue to just rock the program the way you know how to do it. You've summed it up quite nicely. You said you hit to the point where you have to do it for you. Yeah. You're past surviving, right? At some point, we'd start this journey and all we want to do is survive. I don't want you to survive. I really do want you to thrive, just like you said, and find balance and free up this focus that you have to deliberately put into this effort. Use that same strength to hit other goals in your life. That's incredible when you can do that. So at this point, you're running this race. You're going to finish this race. You're going to put all of your focused effort into this journey and completely change your life. And when you get there, you free up that focus to go do something else. So go get this done. Karis, always great to hear from you. Truly, truly an honor. Thank you for your amazing service to this country as well. Truly honored, again, like I said, to hang out with you and chat with you. So thanks for that. Next up, Mary writes in, she says, Dear Fat Dag, first of all, thank you for what you do and for offering thousands of us all over the country and really the world fabulous inspiration and tools. I've been waiting to get further along in my journey, really reaching my goal before writing in, but listening to a very recent podcast that featured a letter from the infamous Marsha, I was inspired to also write in. Because my story is not at all like Marsha's, but similar in that I'm certain and many others can relate. I joined Weight Watchers last October for the first time ever, and I've lost 30 pounds to date. I have about 15 or so to get to my goal weight. I feel better than I have in a long time, and attending meetings as well, using the online tools and podcasts have all been very valuable tools for me. Even though I've been off and on many diets since I was a young teen, I've lost and gained over 100 pounds in my 40 years of dieting. This is my first time on Weight Watchers. I've thought a lot about why I'm not like so many others that have joined Weight Watchers for the umpteenth time, and I think it's because it wasn't drastic enough for me. Of course, this is the very thing that also makes it sustainable. If I could only go back to my younger self and tell her it doesn't have to be drastic or even fast, that she didn't have to eat only pineapples and skim milk for 2 weeks. I was 14. I think this was the Beverly Hills diet. My lips swelled up and I gained a pound. I still can't eat pineapple to this day. There were many of these gimmick-like diets, all with good intentions, some less drastic than others. Later, because I couldn't afford it, I went to medically supervised weight loss clinics where I paid lots of money for a very low-calorie, all-protein with fen-phen when it was the in drug, and later packs of vitamins, B6 shots, and phentermine or other appetite control drugs. The problem with this approach, of course, is if one is not in touch with their hunger, then what is there to control? I was constantly feeding myself and my feelings and always thinking through the next meal. I was incredibly successful in every aspect of my life, my home, my professional, but this weight control thing was a bust. It's not about not knowing how to do this. I would say I've gained a ton of nutritional expertise over the years, and I know what I need to do to lose weight. But actually doing it and consistently applying all of the right knowledge and good habits and not letting the old habits sneak up, especially under duress, is very difficult. I know this will also be key when I reach lifetime and maintenance. So what has been different in the last 9 or 10 months? Well, number one, being in touch with my why, which invokes taking an active role in the lives of my grandchildren and being healthy and lively and able to travel comfortably, which I've earned. Number 2, tracking. I've tracked every day since I joined Weight Watchers, even on the days where I wasn't even close to my points. I tracked everything and not just the food with points, and I believe this is the key to my ongoing success. Number 3, the support I get from my awesome Weight Watcher meeting, a group leader, and several now buddies is immeasurable. I met all of them through Weight Watchers. I did not go with a friend or a family member. Number 4, the online podcasts such as yours have been a huge help keeping me inspired, and since I listen while walking, it's really a great motivation tool to keep walking. I also do strength training, generally with gym buddies, but if I'm alone, I'm listening to your podcast as well. I've listened to the full year and I'm up to date. Number 5, other social media support like the Facebook Wise Wingman group have been a great source of inspiration as well. Well, so in closing, I would like to just get there faster. So in closing, would I like to just get there faster? Yes, I would still say yes, but getting there and sustaining it is much more important to me. I believe Weight Watchers offers us a way to do this, and going back to the letter you read that inspired me to write in, it's what we're really about in Weight Watchers. Different from each other, but sharing some key aspects, including struggles of our lives, that make us similar and able to support each other. Thanks again for all you do. I hope to meet you someday, maybe in Atlanta next year, Mary. Mary, thank you for this awesome email. I love what you said. Would I like to just get there faster? Yes, but getting there and sustaining it is much more important to me. I think that's so true. I think, every single one of us, we would love to just flip that magic switch and be done and be there, cross that finish line, get to goal and say we did it. Right, but then what happens is just like you said in the opening of your email, these are gimmick-like diets with all good intentions. People want to get you to the point because they want you to feel what it's like to feel that goal feeling. A lot of them are drastic, a lot of them are fast, and so as you're going through these so-called gimmicks, if you are able to succeed, the hope and dream and desire at that point is that you are able to succeed and then you feel different. And that feeling should power you through to make the change. But so often what happens is you live such a life of deprivation that you aren't able to maintain that. You go back to your old ways, you celebrate in your old patterns, your old habits, and that's what makes it very, very difficult to sustain. So you're doing it the right way by really just walking through this thing step by step, not overthinking it, and just completely doing it. I'm glad you didn't wait to further along in your journey. I encourage every single one of you to get in now. Write in your email now because, there's plenty of opportunity to write in again later when you get there. But I want you to share now because you need a level of focus to keep you motivated. And if this does it, if this gets you interested and gets you there, then you're well on track and get it out of your brain now so you can focus on the rest of your life and the rest of your future. Congrats, obviously, on your 30-pound loss to date, 15 to goal. I love what you said. You actually feel better than you have in a long time. That is a very, very valuable feeling. When you can recognize that you feel different, it's that feeling that will carry you to whatever goal that you want to be. It's funny, you said you've been off and on many diets, losing over 100 pounds in the 40 years that you've been dieting. I think so many of us, if we added up all of the positives and all of the negatives, we would all be very similar in that boat. And so the journey is a roller coaster. There's plenty of ups and downs, and we just have to figure out the best way to do this. We don't have to do it drastically. We don't have to do it fast. We just have to continue down the path and be successful. You can do this. It's not necessarily you don't know. Everyone knows. We know how. Right? We know how to do it, but getting to the point where you say, I know why I did it, and your list of 5 things writes it out. Those are the things that you're going to celebrate for the rest of your life and say, you know what, I can do this. You absolutely can do this. So thank you for sharing what's going on in your journey. And would I like you to get there faster? I would say no. What I would like for you to do is rather than get there faster, I want you to get there true. That is where the value is. And so, I understand the mindset. I really do. I understand that we want this to be done today. I get that. My hope for you, my desire for you is that you do it in such a way where you completely change your life. That's my desire from you. Now, if you can do that quickly, great. But if so many of us can't, what we need to do is we need to take the slow, deliberate steps of figuring this out that, maybe I don't need so much sugar. Maybe I don't need the soda. Maybe I don't need the junk food. I'm not saying you can't have it, but what I'm saying is that there is a point in your journey for every single person who's been successful. They make a conscious choice at some point to say, I no longer want that. That's my goal for you. That's my hope for you. And so if that happens quickly, great. If it takes forever, in a sense, maybe not forever, it's not the right word, but if it takes a little longer than your expectations are allowing, then great. Because what happens is, if you get there quickly, when you get to goal, you then have to relearn how to maintain it. If you get there slowly, then once you arrive, there's nothing to relearn. You figured it out along the way, so you can do this. And Mary, thank you for joining us live on Facebook. I saw your comment, and truly thank you for writing in now during your journey, and keep up the amazing work. The last email for the show comes in from Lee tonight. She says, hi, Fat Dag. Hey, I emailed you a while back when I reached the 25 pounds lost. I was doing well and losing weight without much of a problem, but I was losing my motivation and my focus. You helped me so much to see that I needed that focus, that I can achieve whatever I assign as my goal. I wrote down my whys and I dug deep to find the determination to keep succeeding. And it worked. I kept losing, and just this week I crossed out of the 170s to a new decade that I haven't seen for decades. I won't tell you how many, but it's certainly multiple. I'm now 169.8 pounds, 10 pounds away from a healthy BMI. I was daydreaming today about making goal and trying to think of what I will say when my leader, Lisa, will ask me what has helped me achieve so much. In the past, when answering this question for mini goals, I would usually say, track everything, be patient with yourself, cut back on sugars and simple carbohydrates, or get active. You know, the concrete advice to help others who need the guidance. But I don't think these things have actually helped me to keep my laser focus. Just like you said, Fat Dag, it isn't about how to lose weight, it's why I really want to. And then it hit me. I had a true revelation. I have come to a new place in my life. In the past, I would tell myself, with help from my mother, husband, and friends, etc., that eating too much junk, sugar, alcohol, or just extra helpings was okay because I was worth it. Life is to be enjoyed, and therefore I should eat what I want, and to heck with moderation. But I have truly changed. I now see that I am worth it. I am worth it to eat luscious, fresh, healthy food. I am worth it to exercise and use this amazing body I was given. I am worth it to get healthy and to be able to participate in physical activity that I feel inclined to do and not worry about my weight holding me back. So when someone says, go on, eat it, you deserve it, my first reaction now is to think, no, thank you. I deserve to be healthy, active, and ready to enjoy this one amazing life I am so lucky to have. Well, that's it, Fat Dag. I know this epiphany is just what you say on every day on your podcast, but I've done it. I've reached goal in my mind. Those pounds will come off. I know it, and I'm just going to enjoy the ride. Thank you for your unending support of all of us. It has meant so much along the way. Warm regards, Lee from Rhode Island. Lee, congratulations on hitting goal. An amazing accomplishment. And so, of course, you've listened to the show, when I say you hit goal, I know it, you know it, the thousands of people who listen to this podcast, they know it. Right now, the scale may not know it, and that's okay. It's just a metal device that doesn't know anything. It's not capable of free thought. It's data in, data out. So every single other person on the planet gets it. You are at goal. You have done this. You have completely changed your life. At some point, the scale will catch up and the scale will acknowledge it. And at that point, we'll scream again that finally the technology agrees with everything else that we know. You opened up your email with the sentence that really sums up your entire journey. I can achieve whatever I assign as my goal. It's that simple. Whatever you assign as your goal, you can do. If you say, this is what I'm going to do, you put all your focus, you put all your effort into it, you go get it done. If you take that level of focus and effort and you put it towards you, and you put it towards a weight loss journey or a healthy journey or a fitness journey, that's how this gets done. So whatever you prioritize in your life, you do. If I gave you a winning lottery ticket and told you to go pick it up tomorrow, all you have to do is drive down to the store and cash it, you would clear your calendar to go do that. That would be the priority of the day. No matter what you had going on, you would say no to. If your best friend said, well, you would like to go to a concert tonight, you would say, no, I actually have to go cash this winning lottery ticket. So you have to get to the point where you prioritize you and your health above everything else. Now, it doesn't mean you have to lock up and be a hermit. It doesn't mean you have to ignore everything else in your life. You can then achieve a balance, but you have to understand what the goal is to do it. Congratulations on crossing into out of the 170s into the 160s, 10 pounds from a healthy BMI. Your visualization skills of daydreaming today about making goal. I think that's another key point that often gets overlooked is you got to look and say, what do I want to feel like? What do I want to look like? What's going to happen when I get there? You're doing that and having the cliche answer of, I usually say track everything, be patient with yourself, cut back on sugars, get active. Yeah, that's all very much true. All of those things are how. Understanding why you're going to do all those things is where that laser focus comes in, and that knowing why you're doing it, you take that focus and you put it towards why am I doing that? And then, okay, now I know how. I know what tools I'm going to use to do it. And then it hit you, like you said, that true revelation that I'm actually worth it. I am doing this because I just enjoy my life. Isn't that incredible when you get to the point where everything about yourself you love and you like? What a cool place in life to be, to say, I'm worth it. Life is to be enjoyed, and therefore you should eat healthy, and you should want to make sure you take care of yourself so that you can enjoy your life for the rest of your life, and you can extend it far beyond the ways and that we may not have been able to before because we just weren't paying attention. We were in active role. So keep doing what you're doing. Again, the scale will eventually catch up to everything that we all know. You're an amazing success. I loved reading your email. It was the perfect email to end this show and celebrate with you, saying congratulations on reaching goal. Congratulations on all your success. Congratulations on just understanding the true big picture in this journey. You did it. You made goal. For the rest of your life, you're going to eat healthy. You're going to be active. And then at some point, the scale will say, I agree with you. And then we celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com. Click on the Wise Advice podcast to send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. You can email in at onair@fatdag.com. Send in your celebrations. I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. I want to walk through this journey with you. I want to answer any questions you have. Where are your challenges? Where are your pitfalls? What are you doing that you need to figure out how to do better? That's what this show is all about. When you send in your email, it helps you get clarity, but at the same time, the entire community, it benefits as well because they're learning right alongside with you. So thank you so much for your email, but that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the Wise Advice Podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit fatdag.com, click on Become a Patron today.